Everyone talks about chasing dreams, becoming a better version of themselves, but no one is talking about the process, the hard process of breaking up with the current version of you. There's difficult challenges along the way, and yeah, it's not easy. It's really not. But there's this quote by Brianna West. I'm reading her book 101 Aces to Change the Way You Think, and wow, she says, "'Tis not the mountain that man conquers, but himself." Ooh. Say that again for people in the back. "'Tis not the mountain that man conquers, but himself." And this means basically there's so many things that are going to come up in our journey or in the process of just achieving our dreams, right? But when you realize that you can be your worst enemy, you can be the person who's sabotaging the whole process. When you understand that, everything will just upside down, everything changes. You have to step back, almost outside of your life, do a 360 and look at everything before you start changing, okay? I'm going to tell you about the self-growth that no one prepares you for, confronting yourself. So let's just put it this way. The first step to breaking up with the current version of yourself is acceptance. It's tough because with this confrontation, you have to look at the bad parts of yourself. What don't you like about yourself? It could be people pleasing. It could be the fact that you get jealous easily. It could be the fact that you compare yourself so much. It could be the fact that you are a procrastinator, or maybe you are lazy. It could be anything. Just figure out what you don't like about yourself. You can even ask your friends, just your close friends, people that you trust to tell you the truth. Ask them, what do you think I could change about me that could make me a better person? Find out, and then don't just acknowledge those things, change them. For example, now, I used to be a very judgmental person, and that's something that I didn't like about myself. Every time I would meet someone new, I would be quick to judge them. Maybe this is a new person, I don't know them, I don't know their background, but I was always so quick to judge someone off of their maybe speech or their mannerisms. And because I didn't like that part of myself, I realized that first I have to accept that I'm a judgmental person. Second, I have to figure out how am I going to change this and become better, right? So you see, when you acknowledge the things that you don't like about yourself, you don't just acknowledge them, you have to also accept them and then change them. I don't think change can happen without acceptance happening first. Have you ever met someone and they keep mentioning how there's something they don't like about themselves, I'm a very jealous person. But when you ask them, okay, what are you doing about it? Nothing. Nothing. They're just aware, but there's nothing they're doing about it. What you're not changing, you are choosing. Because imagine knowing that you are a procrastinator and not changing it. So you are constantly choosing to continue procrastinating. And that's kind of sad, because until when? And the beauty of change is that now you are able to overcome that specific flaw, and then you can say now, no, I was a procrastinator, but nowadays I get things done in time. Isn't that just uplifting? It's so inspiring, because imagine saying, I used to get jealous easily. I used to compare myself a lot. But now I understand that everyone has different parts in life. Now I understand that I am unique in my own perfect way. On the other side of change, there are just beautiful things, inspiring things, It's just a better way of living. And if I have to choose, I'm going to choose that side, obviously. Why will you keep your flaw? Think about it like this. If someone close to you had a very bad flaw, maybe they are judgmental. Let's use my example. Maybe they're judgmental, right? And this person keeps judging people, also judging you, and you are constantly annoyed by it. Will you like that person to keep being judgmental, or would you like it to change, because this is a very close person. Remember, you love them, you care about them. If you want them to change their flaw, you will communicate it, you will tell them, let them acknowledge their flaw first, and then you will ask them to kind of change it. If you would be less judgmental, it will be better for everyone. And then that person starts working on changing it. Now you see, that's love right there. But if this person keeps being judgmental and you're just there quiet all the time, they're judgmental, but you're doing nothing about it, that means you're also kind of a bad person. Why would you want them to just walk around being judgmental? Because it's affecting others. So if you really love and care about them, you will talk to them about it, right? So that's the same thing. If you acknowledge your own flaw, love yourself enough to change it. One thing about change is it's very uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. It's not easy. And that even leads me to my next point, becoming your higher version. I need you to understand that the version that you are right now is perfect, but for your current self. If you want to really align with that future self, the person that has everything you're dreaming about now, the person that is disciplined, the person that is consistent, that never gives up, person that is brave, all those good things you want to become, right? If you want to align with that person, you need to start acting like them, thinking like that person, talk like that person, have a routine like that person. For example, you want to become a successful entrepreneur, and this successful entrepreneurship requires you to maybe travel a lot, requires you to interact and network with people who are of high value. You need to understand that this person that has all that already talks differently, is more intelligent than you are right now. That person has a very strong drive. That person is disciplined. That person wakes up early. That person does research. That person takes more risks. Me personally, I try to live like that future self. There's days where obviously I'm not up to it, but you have to keep showing up. And I try my best. Keyword, I try my best. It's not easy, guys. It's not easy, because remember, you are becoming a new person. You don't know this new person. Yes, you know how their life is, but you don't know the strength it requires or the hard work it requires to keep up with such routines. Remember, right now you're very comfortable. When you start really working for your goals, that's when everything becomes hard, because you're not used to waking up early. You're not used to sticking to routines. You're not used to, speaking professionally, whatever the case may be. Even when you are achieving new milestones in your life, say for example, you got a job, it requires you to change your lifestyle, because now the routine is different, right? The mindset has to be different too. You are now working with people who have maybe worked more, they have more experience than you. So you have to kind of open up yourself for that new environment so that you are able to learn and become like them or better than them. Moving from that old version to a new version can be, there's adjustments that needs to be done. And if you're someone who's very ambitious, if you really, really want the life that you have always dreamt about, then you will try every day. The person that you are right now is not the person you're going to be 5 years from now, of course, right? So this old version of you is not here to stay. And don't let that version stay for too long, because it will get boring. I want you to always have the desire to explore and discover so many parts of yourself, because there's so many changes that will happen in our lives, some that we can't even control. But if you're someone who has gotten used to discovery and accepting new versions of themselves, or maybe embracing seasons in their lives, then you're able to kind of maneuver all that easily, because sometimes when you are transforming and growing, there's some type of grief that you go through. You are kind of grieving the old version of you that had old routines, old mindsets, old friends. That version of you does not exist anymore. I mean, you miss your friends, you miss your habits, the things that you used to do in the past. You miss that comfort, and it's kind of sad, really. But if you are looking at the end goal more than the past, you'll focus on taking steps forward and not steps backwards. When you're on this path of achieving your dreams, things can get very lonely, but that's the price of alignment, man. Like I said, you're losing habits, comfort, old friends, you're losing so many things. The things that you loved before, the things that you liked doing before are no longer validating you. You want to change and become a better version. Things that you used to do before, people that you used to hang out with, comfort things that you chose to do. All this stuff do not satisfy you anymore. So you are discovering yourself like almost from scratch. And as you're losing friends and habits, you're not able to participate in the same distractions as before. When you're changing, your mind becomes set, and when you're set on this thing, you're not looking at the same distractions anymore. You're not looking at the same habits. You're not looking at the same comfort that used to validate you before. You're not looking at the same friend groups. The good thing about it is it becomes liberating in the end. Can you just imagine how amazing it can feel to finally be able to understand yourself more, to express yourself more, to be yourself more? It feels freeing because the future self has always been inside you, right? And now you're letting them finally live. Because all these desires that you have for the future, they're with you for a reason. Now, when you allow yourself to become that, it doesn't feel like you're hiding anymore. It doesn't feel like you're holding back anymore. As much as it's lonely at first, just get through that. You'll find people that align with you as you go. One way I can tell you to kind of make that lonely stage better or maybe easier to work through is, just find habits that accommodate this future self of you. For me personally, it was writing, it was attending workshops, it was listening to podcasts and watching YouTube videos that nurture my future self. So just figure out what other things can you start indulging in that take you where you want to be. If you have to stop going out every time, you can reduce that. Now go once a week. I mean, you won't die. Imagine you won't die. If you are someone who appreciates having large friend groups, you can start attending workshops. You can attend events that have all these people. Get their network, make friends. It's not abandoning yourself. It's kind of just adjusting things. You can become yourself, but in a better way. You understand? You don't need this type of friends, maybe. So go and look for this type of friends. Go and find people that will give you more knowledge on the things that you want to achieve, right? If you're someone who stays on the phone so much, you're always scrolling on TikTok, IG, and you're just on watching TV most of the time, start watching things that nurture your future self. Start looking at TikToks that, relate to what you want to become. Understand your goals. Understand where you want to be in the future. That old version is not here to serve your future self. So you need to understand that she has to go. She has to go. She has to change, and she has to allow herself to become this person. It's fine. She has learned, she has experienced all that she needed to experience, but now it's time to become better. It's time to achieve things that we have always wanted. We all want to have everything we want in life, don't we? Yeah, start working on yourself, please. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. More importantly, I hope that you have been able to identify your flaws, acknowledge them, and realize that you have to change them, not just acknowledge them. Okay, so that's it for today's video, and yeah, see you in my next video. Bye.